What if your life was suddenly entangled in a web of mystery with no clear answers in sight? How would you feel? Welcome to the world of unsolved mysteries, a realm where questions loom large and answers are as elusive as shadows in the night. It's a place that fascinates and frightens, drawing us into tales of inexplicable events and enigmatic figures. Today we're going to journey into this intriguing world, focusing on two particularly chilling cases: the Zodiac Killer and the Watcher House. The Zodiac Killer, an elusive serial murderer who left a trail of cryptic clues, terrified the public in the late 60s and early 70s. Meanwhile, the Watcher House, a seemingly ordinary New Jersey home, was the subject of mysterious and unsettling letters from an anonymous observer. These cases, steeped in mystery, continue to provoke questions and spark theories. In the next few minutes, we will delve into the chilling depths of two such unsolved mysteries that continue to baffle us. Our first unsolved mystery takes us back to the late 1960s and early 1970s, to a string of murders that terrified the San Francisco Bay Area. This was a time of dread and intrigue as a serial killer, now known as the Zodiac Killer, cast a dark shadow over the city. The fear was palpable, the uncertainty chilling. At the epicenter of this horror were the victims, innocent lives snuffed out too soon, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and unsolved riddles. The Zodiac Killer's reign of terror began in December 1968 with the shooting of two teenagers parked in a car on a lover's lane. Over the next several months, more victims fell prey to this enigmatic murderer. There were confirmed victims: a young couple gunned down in their car, a taxi driver shot in the head, and two more young people attacked while picnicking by a lake. There were also suspected victims, those whose deaths bore the chilling hallmarks of the Zodiac's modus operandi. But what truly set the Zodiac Killer apart from other murderers of his time were the cryptic letters he sent to the press. These weren't just taunts or confessions, they were ciphers, complex codes that the killer claimed would reveal his identity if solved. The first cipher, sent in 3 parts to different newspapers, was a jumble of letters and symbols. Within days, a local couple managed to crack it, revealing a disturbing message from the Zodiac boasting about his kills. Despite this breakthrough, 3 other ciphers remain unsolved, their secrets locked away as tightly as the killer's true identity. These ciphers have drawn in countless amateur and professional codebreakers over the years, all hoping to be the one to unravel the Zodiac's final mysteries. Yet, despite their best efforts, the ciphers stand as impenetrable as ever, a testament to the Zodiac's cunning. The killer didn't just hide behind these codes though, he also brazenly taunted the police. In one letter, he claimed that he was killing people to collect slaves for the afterlife. In another, he threatened to shoot out the tires of a school bus and pick off the kiddies as they come bouncing out. These letters, filled with misspellings and odd symbols, added another layer of terror to an already terrifying situation. Over the years, numerous suspects have been considered. Some were compelling, with circumstantial evidence pointing in their direction. Others were less so, their connections to the crimes tenuous at best. Yet, despite intensive investigations, none of these leads have resulted in a definitive identification of the killer. The Zodiac Killer's case remains open to this day, a chilling reminder of a time when a faceless murderer held a city in his grip. Despite the passage of more than 50 years, the Zodiac's shadow still looms over the San Francisco Bay Area, the unsolved ciphers a constant reminder of the deadly enigma that once walked its streets. Despite numerous suspects and intensive investigations, the Zodiac Killer's identity remains a mystery, haunting us with questions that may never be answered. The chilling legacy of the Zodiac Killer continues to captivate and confound us, a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the most unexpected places. From a chilling serial killer, we move to a modern-day enigma that has baffled investigators and fascinated the public. In the quiet suburban town of Westfield, New Jersey, a century-old house sits ominously at 657 Boulevard. The house itself is not the source of intrigue, but rather the unsettling events that unfolded after it was purchased by the Broaddus family in 2014. The family began receiving terrifying letters from an entity referring to itself as the Watcher. The first letter arrived just days after the family moved in. The anonymous correspondent chillingly claimed a connection to the house, stating, "My grandfather watched the house in the 1920s, and my father watched it in the 1960s. It is now my time." The letters contained unsettling observations and veiled threats, enough to send shivers down one's spine. The Watcher claimed to have observed the Broaddus family, noted their children, and ominously asked, "Have they found what is in the walls yet?" The psychological terror inflicted on the family was immense. The letters continued to arrive, each more disturbing than the last. The Broaddus family, understandably terrified, tried to sell the house, but prospective buyers were deterred by the story of the Watcher. Eventually, the family had no choice but to move out, leaving the house vacant. The local police launched an investigation, but the identity of the Watcher remained elusive. The letters were examined for fingerprints, DNA, and even analyzed by linguistics experts, but no solid leads were ever found. The Watcher seemed to be careful, leaving no trace of their identity. As the case gained media attention, theories about the Watcher's identity started to circulate. Some suggested it was a disgruntled neighbor. Others proposed it was a hoax orchestrated by the Broaddus family themselves, while some believed it was the work of a deranged individual with a morbid fascination for the house. Yet the letters offered no concrete clues. They were written in a formal, almost old-fashioned style, suggesting the Watcher might be older. They were also meticulously crafted, hinting at a person with a lot of time on their hands, but these were mere speculations, and the identity of the Watcher remained a mystery. The case of the Watcher house is a story of a family terrorized, a community on edge, and an investigation that has hit a dead end. It's a tale that reminds us that not all monsters are found in the dark corners of the world. Sometimes they exist in the quiet, suburban neighborhoods, watching from the shadows, leaving a trail of fear and unanswered questions. Despite extensive investigations and media coverage, the identity of the Watcher remains unknown, leaving us with an unsolved mystery that continues to intrigue and terrify. These two unsolved mysteries remind us that, despite our best efforts, there are still puzzles that refuse to be solved. The Zodiac killer, a serial murderer who taunted the police with cryptic messages and ciphers, remains unidentified. His case, spanning over 5 decades, continues to perplex investigators and armchair detectives alike. On the other hand, the Watcher House case, a creepy tale of a family terrorized by anonymous letters, is a chilling testament to the power of fear and uncertainty. Despite extensive investigations, the identity of the Watcher remains a mystery. Our fascination with these unsolved cases speaks volumes about our collective desire to unravel the unknown. We seek answers, long for resolution, and yearn for the final piece that completes the puzzle. But sometimes mysteries remain just that. Mysteries, leaving us with more questions than answers. In the end, these unsolved mysteries serve as a chilling reminder that sometimes, the truth is stranger and scarier than fiction.